with impact forecast, because impact forecast is more for you to, according to climate kit, to incorporate the impact hypothesis regarding CO2 equivalence. That is at the end one of the main tasks that you will deliver in from the program. But hopefully we have Adriana, that she's from Agile Impact, and she will delight us. She has a lot of experience working with impact, but more related to social, economical, and environmental, the three axes. And she have a lot of experience working with this issue. She worked from the Development Ibero-American Bank. I'm translating from Spanish. And I don't know how to say Corporación Andina de Fomento in English. But she has
Latin American Development Bank. That's what they say.
Yes. And so thank you for joining. Say yes to this, to provide this masterclass workshop for them. And I hope you can broaden the scope in how incorporate these three elements of impact, social, environmental, and economical to their business model. So thank you, Adriana. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello to everyone. My name is Adriana. I'm connecting from Spain, from Valencia. And the first thing I would like to do is to ask you to open your cameras, because it's easier for me to see if what I'm telling you is useful for you or not, or if you're getting bored. And we also are having an activity, and I need you to have the camera open if you can, or all of you who can. Let me see, how can I see you all? I know I can do something to see you all. But yeah, Google sometimes it's complicated. So let me see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So first, if you can, please open your cameras, mute your microphone, which already you are doing. Ask and share your experience. You know, many things in an entrepreneurship journey are in theory easy, but it's more complicated to apply it into our business. So what I'm asking you and inviting you here is to share your experience, share your questions, and use this time to reflect in your company. I'm sure you're usually very busy, and sometimes you don't have the time to reflect on some strategic things. So take this time to ask like important questions for your business, and please make all the questions you have. Before, I would like for you to tell me in the chat, or if you want to open the mic, what would you like to learn today? When Thais told you you have a session in impact measurement, what do you expect to learn today? Or what do you think you need for your business? You can copy in the chat, or you can take the mic, whatever you want. Don't be shy. Anything, like whatever. It could be how to create an indicator, or how can I make money from this, whatever you have in mind. Because if it's nothing,
I'm not sure, but I would say, I don't know if it's related to what we saw the other day, related to the life cycle assessment, and how it relates, because somehow in the life cycle assessment, we also measured, or hypothetically measured, our impact. My expectation with this meeting could be not to do hypothetically, maybe to do it more practically and measure our impact. Maybe I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not expert in life cycle assessment, but I can tell you like the general steps for measurement, and it's also to separate the steps in something that you can capture. And I'm not expert in life cycle assessment, but I'm guessing you can say, for example, if I divide the process in this, how can I measure in every step so at the end I can add up everything, right? So we're not being like a specific in life cycle assessment, but maybe what we see today will help you to create your own framework for that. Who else? If want to take the mic.
I can ask something. I guess something we can learn is like, what are some ways in which we can present these metrics in, to potential users so that they can actually understand our impact in their specific industries. So I think something that our startup has is that we're essentially the starting material of many products in various industries, and so sometimes we need to really tailor our presentation or these metrics to specific companies. So I guess, how do we design or tailor these metrics for specific users, if that makes sense?
Good. And actually that's good, because one of the things we're going to do today is we're going to create our own impact metrics. I will put the link here so you can start register, but don't do anything yet. It's just to tell you that we're going to work exactly in your impact metrics. So while we're talking, you can register yourself in that link I just shared. But yes, we're going to work on that. What else? One more, maybe two.
So, Adriana, do these impact metrics, do they have anything to do with the theory of change?
Yes, exactly. We're going to see a little bit of theory of change. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I have to tell you, impact measurement, it's a very long topic. So today will be like an introduction, especially for you to keep going and keep learning more. It will be difficult for me to give you all the content you need, but for me, what is important is you realize how you can use it in your business. Because after that, if you understand what's the value, it's easier for you to look for help or to look for more information. But what for me it's more important today is that you find it valuable and you say, okay, maybe I have to incorporate something here, even if I'm in an early stage in my company. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. I have more than 10 years working in impact measurement and more with technology. I come from Venezuela, and that's why the social impact is for me like where I'm a specialist in environmental impact. I've learned, but I'm not exactly the specialist like I'm sure you are. So who knows about Cabify? Who have used or know what it is? You can raise your hand, or you can just do it in the camera. Okay, Hector, Alan, maybe all of in Spain. Ivo, it's like Uber. Like it's an application for taxis. I don't know if in Portugal it could be, what's the name? I forgot. It's a green one, I forget. But it's an application for cabs.
Sure.
Bolt, exactly, that one, yeah. So, okay, so everyone knows what it is. It's an application for asking for a taxi. Who of you will say that Cabify is an impact company? Who says yes? Can you raise your hand? Ivo, Hector, Alan. Why?
Well, I think it probably replaces a lot of people, using their own cars with only one person in each car, taking their cars into cities and things like that. Possible.
Okay, it could be. Alan, because it's very convenient. But is it convenient being an impact company? It's a good question, actually. It's a debate.
I would say, like, some people don't have vehicles, so sometimes it's convenient to be able to just control when the car is going to be in front of the door. So time, usually you want to optimize. And so
Yeah,
I
there
think,
are some companies that we are sure that they are good for the society. Like, for example, for me, Microsoft, of course, it's useful for the society. But what's the line between being an impact company and not being? Do you have any answer for that, or any thoughts? Well, I don't have the answer. I just have more questions for you. But I recently, well, not recently, was like almost 5 years ago, I saw that new. Who wants to, or who will help me to read this new from Cabify? A volunteer. Who wants to read it out loud? Hector, you want? No? Okay. I will
Yeah,
read.
no,
Okay.
I can do it if you want.
Yeah.
Cabify receives $70 million from the IBD, or Social Impact Initiatives. What
Yes.
is IDB?
IDB, it's a development bank. It's more famous in America because it's the countries are United States and all Latin American countries. And they give credits for like the countries or the states. And it's, when I saw this new, like $7 million to a company that in my case, I didn't know, or for me, Cabify, it wasn't an impact company. I say, $70 million, that's a lot of money. And I say, how come this bank give this money to this company? And when you read the new, they say that it will help them to work in favor of social security for the drivers, to work towards the gender equality, or even reduce the environmental impact of all the transports and everything, because they compensate the carbon emissions. But what's the, like, for us, like, what's the message behind this? When you see companies that are not exactly what we think it's an impact company and still get money from this, what message or conclusion do you think we can get from this?
That the social impact itself is of great importance.
Yeah, it is of a great importance. Second, what else? Well, for me, the surprise is it can bring me money. Did you ever thought that your impact measurement or being an impact company can bring you money? Did you ever thought about that? Well, for me here, it depends. Of course, you can read this in a different ways, but for me, it has like two different messages. One is like profit and positive impact can coexist. It can take, like, I can bring money if I really say and I demonstrate that I'm an impact company. Impact investing is a global trend that has grown like by 5 times in the last 10 years. But to take advantage of this, I have to do 2 things. To decide that I'm impact business, I have to decide myself, like, it's because no one said Cabify is an impact company. They decided to position themselves like an impact company. And the second thing we have to do is to measure it. And that's why today we are talking about impact measurement. So if you want to forget everything about what I say today, I want to keep this message: how the impact measurement can open more doors for capital. And you can do it in different things. One, through impact investing, that is something we are going to cover today. 2, through grants. And 3rd, through sales. Because sometimes it depends. For some clients, it will be important to know what's your impact. especially if you are in the environmental ecosystem, for many companies, it's very important that you have that. So you can create investment opportunities, grant opportunities, which is money that you don't have to give back, and third, the sales. Okay, so do you know what is impact investing? Have you heard that term before? Yeah. Okay, so we will go through that very, very quick. But basically, for those who don't know, it's in a traditional investment, I just take like risk and return. And this, if you in any finance course, you will know that the higher risk, higher return. In impact investing, you want to optimize the 3 elements, which is risk, return, and the impact too. Very quick. I don't want to go into this because we already know, but if you're an impact startup, this is a very good news for you that impact startups raise more than $132 billion globally between 2021 and 2022. So if you see, it's 37 times what it was in 2010. So for us, which like anyone who consider an impact company, this is a very good opportunity. Okay, so what here, when I say what motivate us to measure, I will share a video from a real company that shows her history about how she started to measure. The original video, it's in Spanish, and I translated with AI, so you will notice something strange in their voice. But I just wanted to see the message and we analyze it at the end, okay? So I will stop sharing here, and I will share the other link. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So we'll... Okay, so pay attention. Please let me know if you can hear, and we will make some questions at the end, okay?
My name is Adriana. I am co-founder of Retorna, a financial services company for migrants that we help from the beginning of financial inclusion to the moment of sending money to their family. Yes, from the beginning. In fact, Retorna was created with the intention of contributing socially by donating part of its profits. We needed to embed the impact in our business model. That's where we started. We said, let's do our best for immigrants, and then we'll see how we make this an indicator, how we make this a company that also shows all the impact on society that's behind it. When seeking funding, having up-to-date impact indicators can make all the difference. Investors are increasingly interested in collaborating with purpose-driven companies, and measuring impact is a crucial component of this. I faced this question multiple times during pitches and grant applications, including for the Cartier Women's Initiative Fund, where quantifying impact was a primary concern. To begin measuring our impact, I first had to examine my own beliefs and determine what I believed to be the impact of our company. However, I quickly realized that translating these philosophical beliefs into concrete impact indicators was a major challenge. The biggest challenge I faced in measuring impact was figuring out how to apply the methodology effectively. At first, I had no clue where to begin, but with the help of a great impact measurement coach, I was able to master the process and implement it successfully. My approach to impact measurement emphasizes the importance of understanding the inner workings of a business and how they translate into tangible indicators. While revenue and profit are critical business metrics, I believe that everything from community engagement to marketing and technology should ultimately work towards generating impact. By starting with the theory of change, I was able to gain a clearer understanding of how each piece fits into the larger picture and determine whether it adds value for our customers. Retorna's impact can be divided into 2 categories. Firstly, the savings generated from transactions that create economic opportunities for immigrants and their families, leading to poverty reduction. Secondly, the promotion of financial inclusion for individuals who currently lack access to financial services. After implementing the theory of change and its indicators in 2 successful pitches, Our goal is to make it even more widely known by showcasing it not only on our website, but also to our valued customers. By turning it into a powerful communication tool, we hope to further promote our impact and inspire others to join us in our mission. 1. Understand and read about the theory of change. 2. Draw your own conclusions. 3. Look for someone who really knows how to measure impact. While the end result of selecting impact indicators may seem straightforward, the process of getting there is far from simple. If I had known what I know now, I would have integrated impact measurement into our business flow right from the beginning. Through partnerships and impact-focused marketing, it would have been easier to negotiate with stakeholders. When you approach impact measurement from the theory of change perspective, it becomes much simpler to explain, and negotiations that might have taken months could be reduced to just a few weeks because it's easier to make everyone understand what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, so now I want to hear you and to see what you think about the case and the video. Is there something that caught your attention? Hector?
I saw something in the business model or in the impact that it has the impact related to the inclusion and all of this, but she does something that everyone can do, I guess, is to donate part of the revenues.
Oh, no, she doesn't do it.
Okay.
That's like how they started, but at the end they are a business, like a traditional, but I mean, like a business, they charge for that. The donation is not what they do.
Okay, but could it be an impact? Could we consider if we do this practice a positive impact of the model of the business model or not?
If you donate, you mean?
Yeah.
It is, but I think what we are looking when we talk about impact investing or impact companies is where it's really embedded in your business model. Like you don't have to, I have to earn money and then donate it, but like everything, every product I sell, it implies that it has impact. Well,
Okay.
that's the ideal, of course. Sometimes you can have different models, right? Can you share like any, let me see who's also here. Like Anna, we have two Annas here. Maria Eugenia or Nerea. Do you have any something that caught your attention about the video or something that you can relate with?
For me, it was that to at the first ask how to know or apply the correct methodology for the successful impact, and that's I also asked to me that how we can also communicate, because we have to communicate to understand and to apply, and also with all the metrics and the numbers and the answers are the results of the indicators. And how to find that in that indicator or the correct indicator.
Okay. And what's your business about?
From energy.
Again?
Energy.
But exactly what you do? You produce energy?
No, we have a battery energy storage system, and in this way we want to supply and the access for the energy in the rural areas.
Okay, great. So for you, social impact, it's also important, right? Because you're giving access to, I mean, electricity or whatever to people that maybe don't have it. Okay, great. So maybe I don't know if that's the case for all of you, but maybe even if you're on something that it might seems like only environmental, like energy or whatever, I'm sure the social impact is also big in your cases because you're solving a problem that somehow affects people at the end. So what I would like to invite you is not only relate in CO2 emissions will be, of course, straightforward. You will have to measure, but how this is impacting people. How this in new innovation or product or whatever you're having is changing something that is wrong. Like, for example, people don't recycle, whatever. How that your product is changing something that is not working correctly. And if we can argue, like, or we can demonstrate that, at the end, that's our impact. Not only the CO2 emissions that I can prove that I'm saving or recovering from the environment. So what else? Or what else do you like about this? Pedro.
Hi. We do, my company is Pondfoam. We do pots for plants.
Okay.
Totally organic and biodegradable. And regarding the video, is the importance of applying the theory of change and to the business, and in order to convert for the negotiation process, and the impact measurement and the impact that the businesses have in our public, in our clients, possible clients, in order this is the most important things that I could perceive from the video. And in our case, regarding impact, maybe the plastic pollution that we are avoiding, that is transferred to the soils when people use our products. This could be our major impact mitigation. Let's say in this way.
Yes, and what Pedro said, for me it was surprising too. She said that if she had measured impact before, she could have reduced the negotiation times, and for me that's crucial, because sometimes it's not easier for us to connect how impact measurement can really help us to do our business better, and that's one case, but you can have it also with clients, you can have it also with investors, and sometimes I think someone of you told it, I don't know if it was Alan, you said sometimes you have to tailor the impact indicators according to what stakeholders you are talking to, right? So yes, that's something important. And for your question, Eric, like how is people impact quantified? That's the big question for today. And to give you just a quick answer before we go to the next one, it's at the end, your impact is how you solve a problem. So much of the time that we spend when we have to measure impact is to define the right problem. So with Atilana, when we work together, what we worked was, what's the problem of your client? Oh, they don't have access to this or credits or money. Okay, then what happens if you solve this? Well, they get more money, so they can get out of poverty. And it's so easy when you have that clear, and it's so complicated when you don't have it clear. So the right question to how you quantify it is how you demonstrate that you change something that was a problem for something that now is solved. And of course, this is different according to the problem you're solving, but you can apply that for environmental impact and also social. But that's a short question, but we go to talk about that deeper. Anything else before going to the next topic? Any question or comment about the video? Okay. Okay, so the next thing we are gonna cover today is the theory of change, what Ivo exactly mentioned before. Have you heard about this, the theory of change before? Yes, Pedro, what can you say about theory of change?
The theory of change, from what I could perceive and from what I could learn a bit, is the instrument that we can apply, the instrument that we can use, or a way we can use for conducting a new idea, a new project. A new project. It's a way of tasks in order to have an output of some sort of information for a new project.
And why is so important? Who else wants to answer this? Why is so important the theory of change? Have you created your theory of change here, like your own? No, not yet. Okay, so we'll do it today. But I want to first understand what it is. Okay, so to explain that, I will start with an example. Who have heard this? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Who have heard that? I think it's like you, Tim, Alan. I guess you too, right? It's like
My grandfather used to say that.
Exactly. Okay, who believes this statement is true? You can raise your hand or make yeah, Pedro, yes. Ivo says like, I'm not sure. Exactly. Like demonstrate that. Okay. Well, if I ask here, I'm sure part of the people will say, yes, I believe it. I will eat the apple every day. And some of you will say, no, like demonstrate that. Well, in your company, it's gonna be the same. There are people that are going to believe in your project no matter what. Like, yeah, this is important. This is something we have to make. This is the impact. But some other people, they will say, no. You please demonstrate why you're having impact. For those people that they're not so convinced, that's why the theory of change exists. Because I have to walk the other person to know why and how I'm changing something that it's, of course, wrong. So I want to show you if I have to tell or to say the impact of this apple without the theory of change. I say, well, you have an apple, something happened that we don't know what it is, and magically you have more health. I say, well, it's difficult to believe something like that. But what happened if I tell you this? Well, the input is that you have an apple. The activities you do is that you have to deliver the apple, of course, to the people that have to eat it. The output is, even if it's so stupid, obvious, the people have to eat the apple, because if they don't eat it, anything else, like you cannot have any health or whatever. So even if it's a stupid example, I want to relate what will be the equivalent to an apple in your business. For example, if you have an application, the people have to use your application. If you have a product, people have to have the product in their hands, whatever. And I'm sure you're already measuring this, right? You know how many clients you have, how many users, or what people register in your application. I know depends on your solution. But the theory of change is what happened next? What has to happen in order for me to have health, more health? I say, well, the outcome is that I increase the levels of vitamin C, and that's why you have more health. I say, oh, it's because of the vitamin C. Now I understand. So if I know that is through that channel, I can even improve my theory of change and saying, this is not for everyone. It's just for people that has low levels of vitamin C. And I know it's an super example, but I want to relate that with your business. I'm sure your business is not for everyone. It's not for every client. It's not for every case. What's the case that make you create impact? Because, for example, in this case, if people has another health problem, let's say something in their heart, the vitamin C cannot help. But if they have this problem, then the theory of change works. So the first message here is your theory of change has a lot to do with who's your client and what's the problem for them. Okay, then I say, okay, and I can improve the way I communicate my impact, because it's not more health, like, oh yeah, like very big. It's It's very concrete. Is I will reduce the incidence of scurvy, which is something that is when you have low levels of vitamin C in your blood. But here I can be very, very concrete. So try to think about your business. It's not the same like, oh, it's better for the environment, that no one knows what it means, but saying I can reduce the level of solid parts in the water, whatever. So to be really, really concrete on how you solve the problem and how it's related to the outcome where the impact is occurring. Any questions so far? Any one of you, do you think you dare to explain me your theory of change with this, or you need more examples? Like in your case, what would be the activities, the output, the outcome, and the impact? Who wants to be a volunteer and share?
I can share my.
Okay. Go ahead, Pedro.
My our problem is the pollution by plastics, caused by the plastics. So
Okay.
the impact, the expected impact would be the plastic substitution with our products.
But don't tell me about the impact yet. Tell me about your output and your outcome.
Okay. The output, the results, or the output, it could be the adoption of biodegradable materials and new partnerships.
Okay, so to understand, you create a new material that
Yes.
substitutes plastic.
Yes.
And it's used in what kind of products?
Pots for plants.
Okay.
For instance, packaging. It's a different sort of application, but now currently we are producing pots for plants.
Okay. Okay, good. So it's very important to explain that, because most of the contamination through plastic is through bottles of water, right? So if you tell me, oh, yeah, that's true, but I don't solve that, right? So you have to make very clear how make pots for plants will help to reduce whatever plastic contamination. Yeah, so you can decide, okay, I need something else to really tackle the problem, or I can have partners to do this together, because of course I cannot solve all the problems of the world. We know that, but you have to make that clear in your theory of change, because you're not solving all the plastic solution, you're solving a very specific one. You know what I mean? It's the same with the vitamin C. It's very specific. It's not any health problem. It's not about running better. It's not about heart attacks. It's not about obesity. It's vitamin C. And it will make it clear what's the impact. Reduces scurvy. That's it. Nothing else. No any other health problem. And that's our job when we do our theory of change, is to be really concrete on what's the impact. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you for sharing this. So we'll give you another example. Maybe someone else come to me and say, you know, Adriana, you are wrong. The impact of the apple, it's not because of the vitamin C. It's because if you have obese people, you deliver the apple, they eat the apple, and they reduce the bad food. How do you say, like you know, hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever. They reduce that, and the impact is that they reduce obesity incidence. You know, did you notice that the impact is different than the previous one, and the product is the same? It's exactly the same. I didn't change anything. It's the same apple, but what changed?
The outcome.
The outcome, exactly. And who changed that? I mean, who says it's the apple, or who's the bad food, or is the vitamin C? Who says this? Well, in this case, it's the entrepreneur, because that's why they ask you, what's your theory of change? What do you think is going to happen? And that's the reason why it's not the truth of change, but the theory of change, because it's your theory of what's going to happen, Maybe you can say, Pedro, okay, this won't solve the bottle of water's problem, but this will change the behavior of the people. And if I change the behavior, at the end, they will choose not to buy bottles of plastic. That could be your theory of change. It could be right, it could be wrong. You won't know until you measure. But you are the one who knows what has to happen in order for that change to occur. Yeah. So at the end, I'm sure you will have different, actually, as you can see here, the same product can have different theory of change. You can have different, or you can choose one and say, I think it's this, I will measure, and then I will see if it's true or not. They would not, no one will tell you, oh, this is bad, kill it. No, because it's a hypothesis you have about what could happen. Okay, so at the end, like the definition of this, the theory of change is the description of an intervention, product, service, whatever, that is supposed to achieve some results that I don't know if you are aware, the impact is how the need of the problem is solved. So the way I see the problem is the way I see my impact. For example, in the case of Nerea, I can say, people in rural communities don't have access to electricity. I will give them a battery, and with the battery, I can increase, what's the consequence that they don't have electricity? Maybe, okay, they are not so productive, or the kids cannot study at night, so it will harm the qualification at school. When I understand what's the consequence of that, the impact will be the same, but solved. So she can say, I will give batteries so they can study at night or even be more productive. And at the end, the impact is they will have better grades at school, or the people will have more productivity and they will earn more. I'm just making this out, and I'm not saying it's yours. But at the end, it's what do you think it can happen? Can you say that's not the impact, but maybe environmental one? Yes, of course. You can choose whatever theory of change it's good for your business, for your hypothesis, for what you really are seeing in the field, whatever. And what I really like from the theory of change is that it's a causal logic. I mean, if this happens, then this will happen. But if this doesn't happen, so anything else can happen. That's why I put the example of the apple. If they don't eat the apple, anything else about the health will occur. That's why it's so important to measure in every step, because if you miss one, guess you won't have the final impact. And once you can separate this in steps, like first you have to do this, then this. For example, first you have to eat the apple. It will be easier. How can I measure that people eat the apple, right? Or if I say the outcome is increase the vitamin C in the blood, let's say magically I can create like a blood test to see if that increase. And at the end, if I want to see that they don't have this disease, I can or create a survey and ask them if they have it, or I can track how many times they visit to the doctor the last month. So once you can separate that, it's easier, very, very easy to identify what indicator will tell me that that step is completed. Yep. Any question? I mean, I put a very simple example, but I think it's the best way to understand how important it is for us to divide what we think it has to happen in order to achieve the impact. Okay, any question here? Questions? No? Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use, this is just for you. Okay. What we're going to do is, if you're already registered in the software, in the platform I just sent you, I will ask you to put, they will ask you 4 things: the name of your project, your description or the mission of your company, and what you will get is the theory of change and some impact indicators. And for now, I will ask you to put here your name, because I will make a like a lottery for someone of you to share the results and give you feedback on the indicators and the theory of change. Oh, yes. Okay, so here is, this is the last one I said is the application you have to register, and the previous one you just have to put your name, because I make in this one you just have to put your name in every line, 1 name per line, exactly. So Pedro is here, Ivo, Nerea, all of you, Carlos, Ana, Tim also if you want. You have to put your name so you can participate in the feedback. Actually, after this, especially for some of you that speak Spanish, I will send you some other videos about the theory of change and how to select indicators, because as I told you today, is just an introduction. But I will send you more information about how you can apply this to your business. Okay, and please let me know whenever you're done in creating your impact indicators. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, Eric, you have the task to go through the software. But what you have to do, actually, I can show it here. This is what you will see. This is what you will see. You just have to click start. Put the name of your company, whatever. Then here you can put the description. I will show you. You can copy and paste. You can write. Of course, try to be very specific. I will just copy here just for make it easy. And then you have 2 other questions. Who's your beneficiary? Maybe you can choose the environment, but maybe you also have people, or you can have, for example, you can say people living in rural areas. I'm dyslexic today. And the last one is if you want to choose a cross-section impact category. Let's say, okay, I'm in environment, but I want to see the gender equality in my project, or I want to see job creation. Of course, maybe you will impact climate change, and then you click next. And then it will give you the theory of change and the indicators. And please let me know when you're done with this. You will get this. And if you see, there are the same steps of the theory of change. So here you will have the outcome, the impact, everything of your project. And who else is here? Alan, Ana, Carlos, would you like to participate in this? And the feedback?
Yes, but I'm not seeing where the feedback is.
Oh, okay.
I'm filling up the inscription and putting my
Okay,
company.
so I will put your name here, just to put it in the wheel of names, and then we'll see. Could you create the results in the software?
The results? Yeah, I'm creating I don't know, I'm creating the project.
Okay, great. If anyone has any question, please let me know. Okay, what I will do here now, Team America on the same team, I'll be able to represent us. Okay. Oh, because you are the three together? Okay, perfect, great. Thank you. Okay, so now, what I will do now is I will spin the wheel, and the winner is gonna share the results, and we're gonna have feedback and conversations around the results. Is that okay? Okay, great. So let's see who's the winner today. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Eric, are you done with the results? Or Tim, or I don't know who else?
It's preparing my data as we speak.
Okay. So let's wait 2 minutes. If it takes longer, let me know because something happened.
We are good to go.
Okay, yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay.
And of course, tell us about your company or your business or your organization.
Yep. So our company's name is AF Latex Technologies, and we have developed a process for stabilizing and preserving natural rubber and liquid latex for plantation owners and producers of natural rubber across the globe. So I will kind of just hop in here. So assumptions: there is a demand for a solution for the stabilization and preservation of latex material without harmful chemicals. Workers in the natural rubber and latex industry are currently being exposed to harmful chemicals like ammonia, and AF Latex Technologies solution is effective and safe for both workers and the environment.
Okay, I didn't talk about the assumptions, but it's something sometimes we have to check because our impact business usually are on top of these assumptions, and if we don't validate it, our business model will be difficult. Let's say, for example, it could be obvious, but sometimes it's not, that people demand different materials or something that is not harmful. But sometimes when we are in the field, we say, why people is still using harmful things, and you don't understand it. It's because the assumption is not exactly how we thought about that. But okay, you can keep going.
Sure. So then moving on to inputs, research and development team, raw materials for the new stabilization and preservation solution, testing facilities, and marketing and sales team. I don't know how you want me to elaborate on that, but that, or am I just going through this?
Yeah, we can go directly to outputs, outcome, and impact, which is the most important, because
Sure.
Output, I'm sure you already have it, but
Yep.
I'm more curious about the outcome and the impact.
So moving right to output, so the new stabilization and preservation solution for latex material is what we have. Trained industry stakeholders on how to use the solution, and increased awareness of the harmful effects of ammonia and other chemicals in the industry.
Do you do that? Do you try to work in the awareness?
Through our presentations and yeah, basically we've presented our technology at several conferences and such. So, and we directly say that ammonia is harmful to the environment. Now, are we I don't know what you mean by increased awareness. Are we increasing awareness? I think that's somewhat increasing awareness by presenting it at at these conferences and such. So I would say yes.
Okay. Yeah, and here the important question is, are you interested in measuring that? Is so important for your business, or is something nice to have?
The increased awareness? I think that's a big driver of our business. People want to move away from ammonia in this raw material. So yes, it is something. Yeah.
Okay. That's exactly the question you have to do yourself. Like, is it really a necessary step for the next one, or I just can drop it? Because if you can drop it, I will suggest you, for now, don't measure that, because it's an indicator that you won't want to optimize or whatever. But if you do think it's a necessary step for the outcome, then it is important to track and measure.
Sure. And I would say it is a necessary. It's one of the main reasons why you would want to transition to our technology.
Great.
And then, so from outcome perspective, so reduced exposure of industry workers to harmful chemicals, improved health and safety conditions for workers in the natural rubber and latex industry, and increased demand for AF Latex's technology solution. Impact, improved overall health and well-being of natural rubber and latex industry workers, sustainable and environmentally friendly practices in the industry, and long-term positive impact on the industry's reputation and sustainability.
Great. I didn't thought any of you will have direct impact on health, but here you can decide. For example, I don't know if you see, but you have different impacts. You have the health, you have environment, and you have, well, something that is more economically, which is the reputation of the industry. You can decide which one is more strategic for you, because you can say, yeah, I can have impact in the health, but I cannot demonstrate that because it will imply, whatever. So you can just drop it and say, it's not that I don't have it, but it's not going to be in my storytelling, Okay, so click in view indicators, please. Okay, here is just a suggestion of some of the indicators you could measure. It doesn't mean you have to measure all. It's just for you to see that the indicators are in different terms. Some of them are in a very short term, which are the outputs that of course are related with your operations. And then the outcome, which is, let's say, midterm, and impact, it's supposed to be long term. So you don't have to measure all. It's just for you to see, okay, if I want to demonstrate this in 3-5 years, what should I have to measure now in order to demonstrate the change? Of course, because in 5 years, I want to say this, for example, I don't know, the people has better health. I should have measured 5 years ago in order to demonstrate that difference. That's the way I want to use this exercise. Is there anything here that you think is valuable and worth it to measure now, so you can demonstrate in years how it's changing? Maybe the answer is no, but it's good for you to think if it's something you can do now.
And just from the impact ones?
Whatever, it can be impact or outcomes.
I think the carbon footprint reduction one could work. The enhanced reputation of the natural rubber industry. I don't know how you actually quantify that, but I mean, that's one. I mean, really a lot of these.
Yeah, so it's good. Okay, here you can do two things. You can eliminate any indicator that you think it's not really according to your business, or you really cannot do it. You can just erase it. You can also edit the text if you want to add a detail or anything. And you can add another indicator in case, for example, you're already measuring something and it's not reflected here. you can add a new one. Let's say, I'm surprised it didn't put anything about health.
Yeah.
Kind of did the first one. I think they improved
well-being
I
and
think
living conditions there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and the
would
last
take the
one.
second. I would take the second one out, sustainable growth, because I don't think it's more I don't think we would cause it to grow because natural rubber replaces synthetic rubber. So I'm not sure how that one. The second one I would take out.
Okay.
Yes.
Reputation index, I think, is a good one because the natural rubber industry has a bad reputation because of all the pollution and stuff.
Interesting.
And it should have a really positive reputation because of the carbon footprint, but it doesn't.
Yeah. And of course, if you see this is a long term, it's difficult maybe to change this in a very short term, but if you track it from now, you can demonstrate how it's changing. And if you go down to here at the very end.
Sorry, at the very end.
Yeah. Here you have a button, even more, that says generate data sources. It will help you. It's just a guide. It's not something, a methodology, but it's just a guide. If you click there, it will tell you where you can have the data for each indicator. It will be really basic, but maybe help you to see, oh, maybe here you can have this indicator with a survey, or for this one, maybe you need like data from the operations. It will guide you a little bit to understand what it will take to have the data for the indicator.
Okay.
Oh, see here, this is long-term positive impact. If you see the way of measurement, it says percentage of workers reporting better health outcomes. So you can do this with a survey or something, and it's really relatively easy to implement.
Okay.
And another thing you can do here is to download this in a Word document where you have like the summary of the theory of change and your indicators, and you can also download it in Excel if you want. Okay, so any of you have another a question or something about your results, or something that you don't understand, or just a question about your company? I would like to hear you, because these things, in theory it's easy, but in practice it's difficult to get that data. Actually the complicated thing is not the indicator, is where should I get the data for feeding the indicator. And that's the reflections I want to hear from you. Alan, what do you think about the results?
Yeah, I think they're all great points. But like you said, how do we quantify like the health of tree tappers, the health of people who are using these technologies? And is this metric that we're coming up with acceptable for those users? Right. So like in academia, you have standardized way to get data, but sometimes these metrics have to be quantified in a non-traditional way. And so how do you get these users to accept these metrics?
Exactly. And that's the question I want you to make or to discuss in your team, because I'm sure once oh, maybe I should measure this, I'm sure you have to change something in your process. Maybe you have to agree with your clients, like, oh, we have to make a survey to your employees. Like, wow, it's difficult, but maybe you can do it from the very beginning, from the negotiations, from the sales part. And then when you have a client, it will be easier to implement. For example, in my case, one of my impact indicators is how much I reduce the time that clients or organizations spend in impact measurement. And how can I measure that? So when I have a client, I ask, how many hours do you spend on this? And they tell me like 80 hours. I measure at the end, and then I have this indicator. But if I wouldn't know that this was my impact indicator, I wouldn't have created the survey where I ask in the onboarding process this KPI. And it's very simple. It's just if I know that I need that data, I can change my process with my clients, with everything, in order to make sure I have that data. And that's when I want you to reflect. Of course, you cannot measure all, and no one is asking to do that. It's just to reflect what's the data that you really need in the future to demonstrate that you're creating this impact and your theory of change. So what do you think so far? Like, are you more clear or more confused?
No, I think it's more clear for me. So we're actually looking into making a survey for different stakeholders that we've been connecting with. And so perhaps including questions like this and seeing if they're open to, say, sharing some feedback on what perhaps plantations or product developers have regarding our technology. I think that'd be quite useful for then pitching it to future possible investors or possible users.
Exactly. And at the end, it's about how you tell the story, like the storytelling you say. But if you have data, at least, you don't have to have a huge methodology. You just have to have data to like to make a strong argument about what you're saying or what you want to claim.
Yeah.
Who else?
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ale. What about your results? Was it useful or something?
Yeah, it was useful. It was nice. It's a nice tool that we have here, and they, without that much of an input, it gave us nice results.
Okay, so feel free to use it. Feel free to think about this, to discuss it with your team, to think about what makes sense for your business. I think that's the most important question. And at the end, it's like everything in the business is not perfect from the first day. You just start with something and then you improve it. The impact measurement is exactly the same. You start with something, and the while you're using, you see it valuable, you improve. So I think we are running out of time, but I want for you to tell me, even if in a phrase or a sentence in the chat, what are your takeaways from today? Like most important message or learning that you taking from today's session?
Well, Adriana, I have to say we were looking at the theory of change with Barbara Leon for impact funds, some VC running an impact fund. I have to say we were a little bit lost. At some point, it got extremely complex with all the indicators and everything. I mean, there are hundreds of indicators. And this software definitely compiles everything quite easily. And I mean, I've already done the outputs and the indicators, and it summarized it pretty well. So I'm very happy with this tool.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad. Who else? Anyone else want to share learnings or?
Yes, I can share my. It's the benefits of applying the AI to measure to the theory of to implement the theory of change and to have some impacts and in this case outcomes and outputs of our assumptions in a very simple way. Let's say it's in a few minutes of labor, we can have results from our project in a way. In our case, the output was 16 indicators. So it is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. Please don't measure all of them.
Yes, of course. Not measure a lot of, but it is a lot of information that we need to verify and to refine in the future. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Pedro. In case you want to download the slides, you can go do it through this link I just shared. You will get it into your email, and you will also have the link to the video we shared today and any other material I have there. So I don't know, Aitana, if you're here. I don't know if we, let me see if no. Oh no, I think she's not. Okay, so we are just us. Okay, so please, if you have any question, I really am passionate about impact measurement, so feel free to reach me if you have any question, if you want to discuss anything. That's something I really love to help, especially companies, because for me, the material about impact measurement, it's target to NGOs, but when you're a company, you say, I'm a business, who has this information for me? It was hard for me to find it. So if you need anything, if you want more materials about how to do this in your business, please feel free to reach me.
Thank you, Adriana.
Okay, thank you.
It was very insightful, very interesting. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Well, have a good evening, and I hope to see you soon.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Meet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you. Bye.